Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to my channel. My name is Ashley and today I will be recommending cop procedural shows I think you guys should check out. The first show I'll be recommending is Criminal Minds. Criminal Minds is a TV show about a special group of the FBI known as the BAU. The BAU is comprised of extraordinary profilers who tried their best to get inside the head of serial killers around the world. Additionally, each member of the team has been through their own unique set of traumas which makes them extremely qualified to be on the team. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would give the show an 8. I feel like the writers do a very good job at providing serial killers that are very unique, and I'm not even gonna lie, some of them serial killers are very scary. Like, I remember there was one in Miami. I'm not even. Additionally, I do like how sometimes the cases they work on affect their personal lives or their work relationships with everyone on the team. When it comes to my favorite character on the show, I would have to say that it's JJ. To me, she has the most growth throughout the entire series. Like, don't get me wrong, all the other characters do grow. However, I feel like from season 1 to season 15 is when like we constantly see JJ evolving, whether it's her work life or her personal life, and I feel like that's just something that any and everyone, even if she's not your favorite character, can admire about her. The second show I'm going to recommend is Blindspot. Blindspot is a TV show about a woman named Jane Doe who is found in the middle of Times Square, zipped up and covered in tattoos with no recollection of how she got there. There is one tattoo in particular on Jane Doe's back that says Kurt Weller FBI, which causes a chain reaction of the FBI investigating Jane Doe and who she is and how she got there. Through scanning her body, the FBI was able to discover that there were numerous tattoos. Through scanning her body, the FBI was able to realize that there are numerous messages and codes hidden within Jane Doe's tattoos all throughout her body. Some of these messages and codes relate to cases that the FBI thought they may have solved or to cases that have been unsolved. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would give this show an 8. I feel like the writers do a very good job at providing plot twists throughout the entire series and seasons and development of characters that we never thought we would have seen. On top of that, there are some good conspiracies within this show. Not saying that the show is conspiracy based, however, through the messages, conspiracies are revealed. When it comes to my favorite character, I would have to say that my favorite character is Roman. I mean, he does a very good job at being smart without trying to be a smartass. I mean, don't get me wrong, sometimes he's a pain in the ass. However, I feel like he's also the most flexible throughout the entire series. Like, he's able to be who he needs to be in any given moment in order to get the job done. The third show I'm gonna recommend is NYPD Blue. NYPD Blue is a TV show about the day-to-day lives of cops in New York's 15th precinct. Every episode, we see more and more of the characters' personal life and how they may intertwine with each case that they work on. For those of you guys who do not know, NYPD Blue came out in 1993, and even though it is on the older side of a TV show in a sense, I do highly recommend this show. I feel like it is probably one of the better cop shows that you would watch. I feel like nowadays cop shows have more of a comical element to it, and I'm not saying that NYPD Blue does not have funny moments or funny situations within the show. However, I do feel like it is more on the drama side than comical, and I really do appreciate that about the show. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'll probably give this show an 8 to an 8.5. Like, once again, it's just really well written, and I feel like it is a very good cop show, especially coming out in 1993. Well, shows was just prime back in the 90s, if I'm being honest. When it comes to my favorite characters, I don't think I really have any favorite characters on the show. I just think I do like certain characters' storyline. And those characters would be Diane and Bobby. And I kind of like Spiegowitz, however, he's not a character for everyone. He has multiple aspects of his life that he needs to grow up in. However, I do feel like throughout the entire series, we do see some character growth within his character when it goes from season to season. On top of that, Spiegowitz is a really good partner, and he's a really good friend to Bobby and Diane. And I feel like even though he does have some gray areas in his personal life, thoughts and or beliefs or something like that, he is very loyal and he is very good at his job. Fourth show I'm going to recommend is Cold Case. Cold Case is a TV show about a detective named Lily Rush who is the only female in the Philadelphia Homicide Squad. Each episode focuses on a particular case that haven't been solved in many years until Lily and her team reopens the case and restarts the investigation. With 21st century technology, Lily's goal is to provide as many families as she can with as much closure as she can by closing each case and helping them figure out what happened to their loved ones. Each episode starts off where that particular person died, then jumps to the present where Lily and her team reopens the investigation. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would give this show a 7.5 to an 8. I feel like the show does a very good job at providing everyone an opportunity to fall in love with a certain character. Additionally, I feel like the TV show does a really good job when it comes to casting. Some of these cases can be over 20 years old, and the people that they choose 20 years ago and to present day really do look very similar for the most part. The fifth show I will be recommending is FBI International. This TV show is about an FBI international flight team whose headquarters are in Prague, who travel all over Europe in finding and neutralizing threats against American citizens. The team is comprised of 5 individuals who make up the team, and through each case we see them— I don't even know what I'm saying. The team is comprised of 5 individuals who are constantly put to the test as each case brings about new obstacles for them to overcome. Slowly through each episode, we get to discover a little bit more about each character and their personal lives. I will say this, that the first episode is tied to the other 2 FBI shows in the franchise. However, you do not have to watch the other 2 shows in order to watch this show. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would give this show about an 8. I feel like for it being a new show, the writers are doing a very good job at keeping the cases interesting, all while providing enough for us to keep coming back for more. I honestly do believe this show does have the potential to go on to have a season 2 and even a season 3. The 6th show I'm going to recommend is Absentia. Absentia is a TV show about an FBI agent named Emily Bryan who was declared dead for 6 years. However, she is found in a cabin in the woods with no recollection of what happened to her during those 6 years and how she got there. When she returns home, her whole life has been turned upside down when she realizes that her husband has remarried someone else and they both have been raising her son. On top of that, Emily seems to be tied to a string of numerous murders. With no idea who she can trust, Emily makes it her sole mission to figure out what happened to her, all while trying to reintegrate herself into her son's life. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would give this show an 8, even maybe an 8.5. I do feel like it is on the better side of Amazon Prime TV shows. And additionally, on top of that, I feel like the writers do a very good job at making each episode action-packed, all while not making it seem like they're running out of ideas. When it comes to my favorite characters, I don't think I really have any. Not saying that there was no character in the show that I could relate to or anything like that. It's just, I feel like everyone was kind of along the same plane to me. However, there are some characters who are more important, obviously, in order to tell the storyline, but I don't think that I really had a favorite character. The 7th show I'm going to recommend is Mindhunter. Although Mindhunter was released in 2017, the show is set in 1977. The show revolves around 2 FBI agents named Holden Ford and Bill Trench who try to catch serial killers based on their damaged psyche. Along the way, agents Ford and Trench discover what is known as modern serial killer profiling. Since the show is set in 1977, agents Trench and Ford receive constant backlash from other members in their team and other police officers whom they work with, due to not everyone believing that serial killers can be found based on their psychological problems. However, agents Trench and Ford prove constantly through each case and through each serial killer that their work does have merit. With each case, they slowly and surely win the hearts of every officer that they work with. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would give the show an 8.5. I do feel like it's probably one of the better shows on Netflix, and I feel like the writers do a very good job at taking a different approach when it comes to a cop procedural show. I also feel like the writers do a good job at slowly revealing and making us realize how important psychological work or psychological processing can be when it comes to catching the serial killers. When it comes to my favorite characters, I don't think I really have one. However, I really do like the interaction and partnership between Agent Trench and Agent Ford. I feel like their partnership and the way they kind of go at each other is probably one of my favorite things about the show, and is one of the key things that brought me in. The 8th show I'm going to recommend is The Mentalist. The Mentalist is a TV show about a man named Patrick Jane who serves as a consultant for the California Bureau of Investigations. Through his unusual methods, Jane uses his psychic abilities to help the FBI close cases, all while trying to get a lead on Red John, the serial killer who murdered his wife and daughter. Although Patrick's ulterior motives of joining the FBI and consulting them is not initially revealed to the team, he does provide useful aid in helping the FBI close their cases. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'll probably give this show a 7 to a 7.5. It's not that it's bad, but it's more on the jokey side of cop procedural shows. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but I just feel like there are better shows out there, so that's why I gave it that rating. The ninth show I'm going to recommend is Fringe. The TV show is about an FBI agent named Olivia Dunn and her team. Her team consists of herself, Junior Special Agent Astrid Farnsworth, Walter Bishop, and his son Peter Bishop. As the team continued to investigate their cases, they discovered that there are connections between their world and an alternate universe, all while uncovering a conspiracy within their department. The alternate universe each has their own alternate version of each character, with some major similarities alongside major differences, thus giving each character from Universe 1 and Universe 2 their own identity. Through jumping back and forth, we see how each case is tied to Universe A and Universe B, alongside all while uncovering a conspiracy between the two universes within their department. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'll probably give this show an 8. I do feel like this is a really good show and it's really well written, and I feel like it's more on the different side when it comes to cop procedural shows. Like, it's a little more supernatural, but it's not about like demons and warlocks and witches and stuff like that. When it comes to my favorite character, I don't think I really have one. I do feel like every character is just whatever. The 10th show I'm going to recommend is Flashpoint. Flashpoint is a TV show about an emergency task force known as the SRU. The SRU is comprised of elite cops who are charged with rescuing hostages, disarming bombs, and breaking up gangs. Each episode starts with about a 20-second viewing of the most critical moment of each episode, which is known as the Flashpoint, and then the episode in a sense rewinds and shows us the beginning of the storyline. The Flashpoint is basically the emotional trigger that made the person snap in the first place, so whether it's them holding people hostage or them wanting to bomb a train station or anything like that. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'll probably give this show a 7, 7.5. I do feel like the storyline is interesting, however, I do believe that it could have been executed a little better. With that being said, I don't want it to seem like that the show is trash. It's not. It's a good show. But like I said, I just feel like there are better shows out there. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on post bell notifications so you can be notified when a new video is released. Bye!